What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Two for Two, your sports podcast for the culture by the voices of the culture. I'm your host this week. We switching things up. I'm Darnell, and we got a very, very special episode for you. As you see, we got some extra guests for y'all. Y'all already know your boy Keys,
Good.
and we got some special guests for our draft special today. So we got everyone's favorite running back, Chris Temple. Welcome to the show.
Yes, sir.
Glad to be
Got
here.
everyone's favorite receiver, Jojo. Welcome.
Yo.
And then we got DC. All right.
Super Bowl champion.
Just kidding. We got
Here we go.
Here we go.
we got everyone's least favorite Eagles fan over here for today.
Absolutely.
So how we doing today, fellas?
Doing great.
We ready for this draft? Y'all don't sound excited for the draft. Are we ready for the draft, or are we ready for the draft?
Ready.
I'll be honest with you, man. I'm excited for the draft, but it does feel different once your team wins, when you're sitting at pick 32.
Man.
So I just like to kind of sit back and hear what y'all looking for, you know what I mean? Like, we can talk about luxury picks for the Eagles, but,
I know you can't wait to touch on your Eagles, man.
I'll wait. I'll be patient.
Yeah, DC
All right, well,
seems in a unique position where they don't really need any draft picks. Meanwhile, I don't have a quarterback right now, so we're in dire straits.
Yeah, we definitely got to touch on them Steelers, man. But like you talked about the quarterback position, let's just start. Let's start right there because we've heard a lot about Shador and Cam all season long, all off season. I mean, shoot, since we started, the end of the season, it was Cam, it was Shador, Cam, 1-2 in the draft. Now it seems like Shador's slid a little bit. Whether that's due to talent or just the way these teams are thinking. Most people got Cam going number one. Do you guys think there's a sizable gap between Cam and Shador?
I feel like Joe should take it first since he's a Titans fan.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Nah, because I wouldn't say it's a gap. I just feel like Cam Ward, for the number one pick, Cam Ward fits the Titans better than Shador does because Cam Ward, our O-line isn't even that good. So Cam Ward has to move around. You see what he did at Miami. And then Shador, he needs like a good O-line. So, I mean, they're both good, though. I just like Cam Ward better. Shout out to the Titans.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't know. I kind of have a different opinion. I think there is a bigger gap. I think Cam is I think he's a better quarterback. I'm not saying that Shador's going to be a bad quarterback, but I think Cam is like head and shoulders above Shador. And I know you mentioned kind of like the O-line issue, but I mean, it sounds like I'm defending Shador now, but Shador didn't have an O-line really with Colorado either. You know what I mean? And he still did perform, but I think those mistakes that he made in Colorado are partially due to the lack of protection, and that's going to be like expounded in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be like you'll be able to see that 10 times more. And so, if you're the Titans, you're like, listen, I can't have him, panicking back there and us, having to find another quarterback in another 2 years. So you already had to go through Will Levis. So I'm sure y'all want to find your guy. So I think Cam Ward's a safer pick right there too. You know what I mean? That's my personal opinion, though.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference between the two is really just arm talent. Like, I mean, Shador, I've seen people compare Shador's arm to like Tua Tagovailoa. I think he has a better arm than him. I think it's kind of disrespectful, but Cam Ward, you can't teach certain arm talent, right? Like, in the NFL, you have to have a big arm. Like, it's almost a requirement to be athletic and have a big arm in the NFL nowadays. So I feel like that's the biggest separator, and that's why he's going number one.
Question for y'all, and like this can be Nell or Keith or Joe. I know Joe, it's your team, but like when we're talking about talent too, in the quarterback position, like and when you're asking us to compare these two, like, are we talking about like leaders too? Because I think that's also like that mentality that they have. Like, they're similar, but they're different. You know what I mean? And so like, do you have them on the same level of like playing field when it comes to leadership? And like, does that make a difference to you with them? Like, what do y'all think?
I think this like idea of like Shador not being like a good teammate, I think that's kind of overblown. I think it's pretty weird, right? Like, I think a lot of it comes from the fact that he's Deion Sanders' son, right? And he's very he embraces the celebrity, but like that's just a Sanders thing, right? I feel like, not many of us are in the locker room with him. Well, none of us are at all. So like we don't know, but like we haven't heard anybody like, oh, he's this, he's that. Like, a lot of the hate comes from the outside, and they make it seem like he's overly confident or like arrogant or whatever. Like, a lot of this is y'all, right? Like, they get him and Travis get the jerseys retired and everybody's hating. It's like, I get it, but what you want them to do? What you want him to do, right? And so I feel like Shador's a gamer. I think the thing that helps him is like he takes the game seriously, right? Like it'd be different to me, I think, if he was somebody that was like this big celebrity, and then you're hearing, like you heard about Johnny Manziel, oh, he doesn't watch film, he doesn't do these things. Like that to me would be a bigger issue. I think a lot of it is just his personality, but I mean, shoot, Cam Moore's got a little edge to him too, so I don't really see that, that part of it. I don't really see a big.
No, yeah, that's what it is. I mean, I don't know. I think Cam also has like the background that kind of fits Tennessee a little bit more. He's coming back. He's a dude that wasn't recruited with highly. He's got that edge to him. He's kind of got that dog in him. You know what I mean? Like, not saying Shador don't have that dog, but Cam's different with that. You know what I mean? And I think Cam's shown that, and he's worked his way up. From coming from Washington State to then going to Miami, balling out there. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's kind of. I think for Tennessee it makes sense. I think that's what kind of also puts him above there. I think Shador. You're right. I think it is overblown, but I mean he's a celebrity. He treats himself like a celebrity too. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I don't know if Tennessee needs that right now. I think they need someone to be like, we're just gonna go out there. We're gonna be a dog, and I'm gonna name Calvin Ridley as my top receiver, and Tajay Spears as my top running back. You know what I mean? Like just kind of this thing. So.
Yeah.
Let's not forget Tony Pollard.
I know.
He did had a good season. He shit Tony too.
But
he helped me in fantasy. Not when I need him.
Can't worry about being the first unranked player to ever get drafted #1.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Didn't know that. Our unranked guys, man.
All right, well, moving on to the next person that's gotten the most talked about this offseason leading up to the draft. We got the Heisman Trophy winner, Travis Hunter. So what position do y'all think he has more value in? Cornerback or receiver?
I was going to say both of them.
Both? Okay.
Both.
I think he's going to play more. I think he's going to play more at corner, but then come in like for certain packages on offense. Like I don't know if you remember like Marcus Jones from the Patriots, like kind of like that, but play more offense though, because he obviously is a top prospect at receiver, and we really have not seen anybody like that though. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, he's a supreme like playmaker. Like you talking about guys that have it. Like he's one of those guys. It doesn't matter wherever he is, he's gonna pop. Like corner, yes, that should be his primary position. Obviously, I doubt. I don't say I doubt because he's shown us, but it's gonna be tough over time to maintain himself in the league if he plays heavily on offense and defense, right? But I mean, shoot, if you get the guy the football, it's like. He might score every time. Like he catches a pass, takes it from a 5-yard slant, and now he's running down the sideline. Like that playmaking ability is gonna stand out regardless. And if you're a team in the NFL, like in today's era of the game change, like don't be too naive. Like don't be that team, right? Like if you got it, use it. And that's my thing about him, man. He can be great at both.
I mean, I agree. I think I think we're kind of all saying the same thing, but I think he has more value at corner. I think, even though I personally think what's going to happen.
If you could only take him at one position, what would you take him?
I would take my corner, but I do think he's going to probably play more receiver than corner. I think that they're going to. I know I believe it or not. I think that's what's going to happen. I think in today's NFL, high power offense, they're going to want to,
Do you think it depends on who drafts him?
Well, I was going to say whoever it is, they're going to want to pair him up with whoever they got back there. You know what I'm saying, to help him out as much as possible. And kind of going back on the Colorado issue with them being so, let's be honest, like kind of so many holes in the O-line, they had to play a lot of backyard football, and we saw him like succeed in that and excel playing backyard football at receiver. But I think if I could pick him in one spot, like if I had like a team like, and I'm not just saying this because I'm an Eagles fan, but if I had the Eagles where I didn't feel like I had a specific need in one position, but I could just like put him where he's like where I want him, I'd probably put him more corner. We're not getting him. I'm just saying like. I just
Eagles trade up. That's some Howie stuff. That's some Howie stuff. Nah, I'm mad you even spoke that up right now.
I think he's a better corner though. I think I don't know about y'all can say something different than how I feel, but watching Colorado, like every time he played corner, I felt like he was making like a crazy play. Like you know what I mean, like breaking on the ball like, in a different stratosphere of other corners. Whereas I mean, he's a good receiver, but like is he like Julio? You know what I mean? Like I'm thinking about like the biggest like receivers that win like the top 5. Like you can't compare him to Julio Jones. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he has like elite ball skills, and I think that's what helps him on both sides. Like it's like he might not be as refined at receiver, but like his ball skills are so good. Pause. That it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's making plays. Joe's hilarious.
He's funny. Piggybacking off of what DC said, definitely think that he has way more value at corner, and I do think that he's gonna play both ways. It's really gonna come down to volume and how much he gets on both sides. But if you look at it from the perspective of you play him at corner, you can play him at outside, you can play him in a slot, you can move him around, put him at safety. Like there's so much versatility with him on the defensive side of the ball, rather in terms of offense. When if you're gonna play him at receiver, I mean, you're kind of limiting him, right? Like I feel like everyone says, depends on what team he lands on, but I feel like he has more value at corner. And also, there's a need for more premium corners in the league. I feel like there's a greater need in the NFL in totality for corners than there is receivers as of right now.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, I know we're kind of this going off topic, but I think you're right, and it's unfortunate. I think Joe got disconnected, but I think that the NFL is doing a good job. We're seeing like receivers produce from like the third, fourth round immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like they're looking good. Whereas corners, like they are still taking a little bit more time to develop. Not saying that you can't come in and ball out as a rookie, but like it does take a little bit more time, and we don't have as many of them. And so, yeah, if you have a talent like that at corner, they can just plug and play. Like, shoot, you better put them in immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like, you better be in there day one training camp. You better be taking those snaps. So, I agree with you, and that's why I think that's just where I'm. That's why I think you got to put Travis there, and of course, let him play both ways, but you got to put him on defense.
Do y'all think there's a chance that any team only plays him on one side?
I don't think so. I feel like
if he goes to the Browns, they're liable to do anything stupid.
Yeah,
the only way I see him not playing both sides, and of course, I don't think he's going to play like full time both sides, like you're saying. Yeah, but the only way he doesn't play both sides is early injury. I think early injury, if he gets like an early injury, they're like, all right, dog, like we can't have you, doing this and like in back and forth. So we'll probably put you on one side for now. They'll probably try it again the year after, but yeah, I think the only thing holding him back is the injury concern, which again, like he hasn't had really an injury concern. So I mean, I don't want to put that on him already. You know what I'm saying? But just it is a different beast in the NFL, and so you just never know what could happen. And also, we see non-contact injuries happen. Again, knock on wood, don't want it to happen, but like you're doubling up that possibility playing both sides all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you kind of got to be careful with that. But yeah, that's I think as long as he stays healthy, I don't see him not playing both ways.
Yeah,
he's bad.
He's right though with the Browns. I mean, let's say he lands with a team that actually has some like solid depth at corner. Like, do you really want to put him like where do you really need him there, or
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of like, cause I mean, it depends. Where do y'all have like a team you all think he's going to? Like, I mean, the Browns are.
So like the Browns, right? They still have Newsome and Ward on the roster, right?
Yeah, right. So that's where it's like kind of gets a little iffy. I mean, if you go to the Giants, I think they need him on both sides. To be honest with you, so I think he plays on both sides with the Giants. I mean, but then after that,
him next to Malik Neighbors would be tough.
Oh, it'd be dope. That'd be crazy.
They play the same for him.
Put Jameis out there.
They're gonna be pissed off when Jackson starts throwing to them. Though I don't know.
Jameis gonna give him the ball.
No, Jameis. If you get both of them, let Jameis play. You saw Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. You tripping?
Jameis had 30 part 2. He's trying to go get that record again.
Hey, you might steal a couple. He gonna steal some wins.
Yeah, he got an extra game now. Extra game now. Yeah.
Extra picks, baby. Let's do it.
40-40.
You don't want to see your
40.
Hey, yo, come on, man.
If you get a 40-40 in 2025, man, I don't know what's going on.
Hey.
Clean house. They all gotta go.
Get a new coach, too. How you going to let this school play?
New coach, new quarterback. I need a new left tackle. I don't even know why. I need a new left tackle. Like, I need everybody gone. That's so funny.
Yeah, they're crazy. Y'all stop hating my boy, bro.
Joe, you got any last words on Travis Hunter?
Shoot, whoever drafts him, they're gonna be good. I just hope he stays healthy. That's all it is.
Yeah,
if he stays healthy, he's gonna do a lot of stuff. I mean, because he might have a chance to be the first All-Pro on both sides of the ball. Not this first year. Not his
Bold.
first year.
Whew,
Not his first year. But
that would
like
be
I'm down there.
elite.
Nah, say
Yeah,
it. Commit
but
to
like,
the hot take.
I mean,
First
yeah.
year.
he can do a rookie team or all rookie, whatever. He could
Okay,
do
our
it.
rookie,
I
yeah,
think he can.
yeah.
I'm saying like down the road, if he does play both, he could be the first one to go all pro on both sides.
You
How
know,
many
the
receivers
offensive
supposed
and
to go on all
defensive rookie of
pro?
the year.
All pro got 3, I think, if I remember correctly.
So, you know, Jetta's and Chase not going nowhere.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get them guys off that list. It's some guys that's gonna be hard to move off that list.
You never know. Injuries happen.
That's true. That's true.
It's true.
Jeez.
Is he the best receiver in this class?
Like
See, that's
pure.
right. It's like,
You talking about pure receiver or making plays?
Just as a receiver. Let's say he wasn't coming out as corner. He was just a receiver.
I think T-Mac the best one to me.
Yeah, I can't put him at number 1. I mean, like, that's kind of what I was making my point about with like the whole like comparing him to Julio, which I know is like Julio was generational and things of that nature, but I'm just saying like he's not like that at receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think he's not in that level, so it's hard for me to say like that.
The versatility like, makes him special.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he's not the best receiver, but he's probably like, if not the one, like damn near the best football player in this draft. You know what I'm saying? Like just like the dude you want on your team. It's him or Abdul Carter. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to like best pure players. So I think it's kind of hard. He's hard to compare to. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like it is unprecedented really when it comes to this time. You know, in 2025, that you have something like that.
Yeah. Got a lot of good players at a lot of different positions in this draft. So what do y'all think the strongest position groups in this draft so far? As we come down to draft is tomorrow, Thursday as we record.
Me personally, I think it's DT, interior D line, running backs.
Cowboys need a couple of them.
I think there's some real depth there. I feel like you could pass on drafting early and get some good guys on day 2 and day 3, interior D line and running back, and be fine.
I'm with you on running backs. I'm with you on running backs. I think also edge.
We could use some of them too in Dallas.
You know, I think edge, of course. I mean, you know, DC just said it. Abdul Carter, like he's leading that group. But you know, there's guys that are gonna come out late. You know, day 2, day 3, and they're gonna still pop. And that's a premium position now, right? They're like, it's a lot of guys that in the right situation, in the right coaching, refinement, they can take off. And also, I like the tight end group. Obviously Tyler Warren, my boy Colston Loveland, Mason Taylor. Like we see the tight end position and how important it is. Like just in the last few drafts, guys that have come out, like you can get you a dog at tight end this season. These guys will come in and play right away. One of the guys I love, Harold Fannin. Like he might not even be a day 1 or 2 pick. Like he might not go to day 3. And this guy, the best tight end in college football last year, depending on who you ask. So it's like, it's gonna be tough. It's some ballers in that position too.
Yeah, I think last year in the NFL, it uplifted some positions that we were like, I don't want to say sleeping on again, but like people weren't maybe accrediting as as valuable as possible. And of course, like tight end's always been a valuable pick, but we saw Brock Bowers come out of and immediately become the best tight end in football, arguably. You know what I'm saying? We have the resurgence of the running back position. So I think we have a lot of running backs, kind of what Temp is saying, that are going to go in the first. I think we're going to see a lot more running backs than we expect going in the first round this year. I think. I mean, I know Temp might have some some opinions on the running back class this year, good or bad, I don't know, but I think there's at least 3 running backs that are first round worthy at the very least, for this draft, which is it's funny because last year we were like, are we ever going to see a running back go in the top 10 again? And then Ashton Jeanty's about to be it again this year. So it's like, yeah, they're not going anywhere. But yeah. I like the tight end I think too, though, because you have Tyler Warren and Loveland, who's a dog. They're both dogs. I think Tyler Warren's different too. Like he's gonna be special. You think he's gonna be better?
Or you think he is better?
Oh,
he is better.
Okay, that's a see.
How's the statement? What was the statement? Michigan couldn't throw the ball to save their lives last season, and he still ate.
We'll see. I'm not.
Tyler Warren's really, really good. Like I'm not saying he's not really, really good. I'm just saying like people forgot about Colston Loveland because this year, like he was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and chill. Y'all not gonna kill me out here. Like literally, that's what he was doing. They did try to kill him.
I think that's a part of. I mean, not to switch the topic too much, but I think corner has a lot of talent this year too. Again, and I think that's something that's kind of happened with Will Johnson. I think like because of the season they had, that he's going under the radar, but I think he's going to be a difference maker somewhere too. You know what I mean? Like I think right now he's like ranked as like
To
the
the
third or
Bucks.
fourth
Come
corner,
on.
but I think he's a dog too. So I get
Come
it.
on home, Will.
Come on home.
Come on home, baby. We need him. Come on.
Got anything,
We drafted
JoJo?
corner.
My receiver group is the best group, to be
Of
honest.
course. Of course, the receiver we're
Outside of
seeing.
receivers though, outside of receivers, the running back group is definitely like very deep, and it's kind of crazy because even like my boy Nate Carter, he's really one of the best running backs in the group, but he's gonna end up day 3.
He'll
But
be a Titan.
he
That
actually
would be
might be.
good. That would be a great spot for him, actually.
He
You know,
did talk to the Steelers, but
hey,
that's it.
Hey, we'll
That's all I
take him
gotta
that
say.
too.
that running back group is good, man. You got, guys like Travion Henderson, Marion Hampton. He's one of my favorite running backs in this draft. I'm curious to see what Tim thinks about him. But, you know, Caleb Johnson was my guy Tootin. Is that how you say his name from Virginia Tech? Like
Yeah,
that's a guy like
Oh yeah,
he's a slider, bro. Like
he's a
he get on
he's
the
a
right
player.
squad. Hey, so and I think the thing is what we're seeing, kind of to DC's point, is like running backs are trending up. Like there's a lot of really good pure runners in football now. Like a lot of them. You see that in the NFL where you get guys undrafted, 6th-round picks, 5th-round picks, 7th-round picks coming in and taking off. Like they're just playing good. Like they're starting for teams. So you'll get a guy. You'll get a guy late uh in this draft at that running back position too.
Yeah, it's like you said,
yeah.
we got a lot of deep positions here in the draft. So let me get some of y'all sleeper picks. Who we sleeping on heading into this draft?
Joe, you
Go
want
ahead.
Nathan or you want me to say?
Sleeping
Who
Nathan
we
Carter.
who we sleeping on?
That
Put
is
me
the
on. Put
guy
me
to
on.
get.
Put me on, Joe.
Nate, he's from Rochester, New York. That's all you need to know. Nah, I'm
That's all
playing,
I need
but
to know.
he ran a great 40 that I was shocked, but he's one of those backs like he could be really good as like a third down back somewhere, but he really is like an all purpose back. But outside of him, and I'm on the running back wave right now. Him and Devin Neal, those two, they can make a
That's
difference.
his NCAA guy. This
But
guy
he's still
sick.
like
That's his guy.
he's still
That's
that
his
guy
guy.
though. For
He's
real.
tough. He's tough. I like RJ Harvey and DJ Giddens a
Yeah,
lot. I think
Yeah.
I
RJ
think those
Harvey's gonna be one of my
guys
guys.
they're tough. I think sleeper. Um, I talked about Harold Fanning a little bit, right? Like a big on production. I think he was what first in or second in touchdowns or something. What do you have? First in he had 177 catches for 1,555 yards. Like that's first in FBA. That's a tight end. Like
Yeah.
I'm a big production guy, especially late in the draft. Like you think about guys you can get late. Like give me somebody that's playing some meaningful football. And I got to plug one of my Michigan guys, Josiah Stewart. You talk about the edge position being deep. I think that's a guy that will, obviously I'm a Michigan fan, but he led us in sacks, right? He just came from a defense that was coached by an NFL level head coach, right? He knows the NFL system. I think the way he was used at Michigan, I think people sleep him, but he'll be a good pick for somebody.
For sure. I think for me, I think just to go off real quick, I think the safety group. Well, not even the safety group, but it's two safety names I have. And it's the Malachis. I think Malachi Starks. People don't talk about him enough, but he's a dog. Obviously plays for the Bulldogs, but also just a dog. Also Malachi Moore. I know people forget that he's in this draft. He's a day 3 pick probably, but I mean we're talking about
one of my value guys.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so he's
yeah.
He's a team captain for Alabama. Who it's not something to look down upon. He's a young crash out a little bit, but you kind of need that sometimes. And on your team, especially the fact that like if he can have that leadership quality while like kind of bringing that intensity, you can see how it can completely change a team. I think like I know I could compare it to my birds, but like the difference like someone like CJ made for us. You know what I'm saying? Like where we lost a lot of that edge, but then he came in and immediately was like, all right, like we're not doing that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I think Malachi Moore could be that for somebody. And then actually, I'm going to shout out a sleeper guy. I mean, more of a value guy. I'll talk about it a little bit more, but just as a quick little group, talk about Syracuse, Kyle McCord. I think he's I think he's going to be a.
That's Joe's guy. That's Joe's guy.
We talk a lot about quarterbacks, and we always talk about Jalen Milroe. We talk about of course Shador, Cam, Jackson Dart, but I think Kyle McCord is going to be, if he goes to the right team, he's going to be something different. I think too. He has all the tools. It's just he needs the coaching and the talent around him. But yeah.
Y'all got everybody else. I'm gonna stick to my running backs, right? Keith mentioned RJ Harvey from UCF. One of my guys had 22 rushing touchdowns. Really solid product. I think he, if given the right system, will be a real quick contributor and is going to contribute early on. I have LaQuint Allen from Syracuse, running back, at 500 receiving yards, plays in the slot, very versatile. Reminds me of like a more slim Antonio Gibson. So I feel like he's going to have a lot of value in the NFL as well. And a guy he used to get talked about a lot and doesn't anymore because he had kind of a down season, Ollie Gordon. I think that he still has it in him. I feel like people are a little too early to be out on that guy. And then there's another guy, Dylan Sampson. He's probably going to be a day 2 guy, probably not a day 3 guy,
like
but
Sampson.
Very explosive. He's a blur guy, kind of like Tudor, but definitely played in the SEC. So he's definitely one of those guys who's going to be really valuable.
So that 40 time for Ollie doesn't scare you? I mean, I know it wasn't like a 4.8 or anything crazy, but a 4.6 for Ollie, that's kind of
doesn't scare me at all, man. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of James Conner, but I mean, that prototype of back, it works in the NFL, right? Like, as long as you are able to maneuver and be fluid, I'm fine with you being a little bit slower. If you're a little clunkier, you can't be that slow. You got to have some giddy up to you. But if you're more fluid runner, have a little bit shifty, not too much, I'm okay with you being a little slower in the 40s.
Talking about 40s, I'm about to transition that one to Xavier, my boy from Miami, Xavier. He had that slow 40, but I think he's a sleeper too. Yeah, I think he's gonna be all right.
Depending on like a 4.7.
He's gonna go to the Titans, Joe. They're gonna give him his guy.
He knows how to get open.
That's bring me anytime you can. I don't care.
Well, that's our best receiver anyway. And I'm not talking about Ridley or D-Hop. Nick Westbrook, but he had the most touchdowns this year. But talking about receivers though, sleeper wise as well too. Like Jaden Higgins from Iowa State, that man could be something serious.
Nice.
Like if he actually locks in, he could be something serious. And then oh my gosh, Trey Harris. He yeah, he could be
a dude.
He's a dude. The team he goes to?
No,
he might be a guy.
I'd like the Steelers to take him just because. I know we don't need it, but he's a dude. Especially with him not playing the whole season, still putting up those numbers. He's one of them.
It's just a couple of them in there, and then also tight end wise, the number 8, I think Carlos Arroyo or something like that. I think that's his name. He was like a tight end for Miami. He might be one of the tight ends that make noise. Yeah. So those are my little sleepers as well too.
All right, I love those sleeper picks, guys. All right, we talked about the sleepers. Now I need the bona fide studs. I need the franchise altering prospects in this draft.
I got a couple.
Where my home runs at?
Hunter Burden.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Is that your favorite receiver in the draft?
Yeah, unfortunately. Because you remind me like DJ Moore and Jamar Chase, like a little combined. He got it all. They said he's like Debo, but I see it, but I don't like comparing people to Debo. He's fat, but but corner of DBYs, I think it's Jade Barron or whatever from Texas. Now I think he's gonna be a guy. I've always thought that though.
No, I think those are good picks. I think for me, like I look at the defensive side. I think Walter Nolan, D tackle for Ole Miss. I think he's a dog. I think he's like a specimen. You know what I mean? A D tackle. I think he's going to be somebody different. And then of course I feel like it's kind of cheating because he's a top 3. He's going to be a top 3 selection. But I think Abdul Carter, we can't put enough value on what he can bring to a team. Like, we saw him do some athletic stuff that, like, I mean, it was like, people like to compare him with Michael Parsons, him and Michael Parsons, because they both played at Penn State. They both kind of, like, a little bit more between, even though Michael played a little bit more inside. I think Michael was a better off-ball linebacker than Abdul was. But I think just, like, the incredible athleticism he brings, like, I don't think you can mess that up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think you literally just put him in the game. You're like, just go get the ball, and like he's going to get the ball for you. You know what I mean? So I think Abdul kind of gets, I not want to say overshadowed because, like I said, he's a top 3 like lock, but we talk so much about Cam and also Shador and like Gene T with the resurgence running backs. Where I'm like, people forget we have a crazy DN coming out right now. You know what I mean? And he can't be overlooked. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of who I would. Those are my 2 picks. I think I'd like to stick by. I'm gonna hang my hat on. Walter,
I got one. I got one name.
Walter,
because you said Walter Nolan.
Yeah, no, not Abdul. Go ahead though.
A defensive tackle, Mason Graham.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's different.
You talked earlier about Travis Hunter maybe being the best football player in the draft. I would like to argue that Mason Graham might be the best football player in this draft, just from a pure like his physicality, his athleticism. And we saw how Aaron Donald wrecked teams for years, right? And could still if he wanted to. And interior defensive linemen that move like that, play like that, and have the production he has, like that can change your team. That can change your team.
Y'all played him out of position a little bit too, and he was still.
We were putting him everywhere. We were just letting him showcase his true talent. You know what I'm saying? We had fun things we could do with the defense because we just had guys, and the offense was trash, so we could do what we wanted to do. You feel me? That's my main guy. That's
a great pick, actually. Yeah, that's a great one.
Me, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna pick some lesser known or lesser talked about names, but they're top 10 locks all the same. Will Campbell and Membu from Mizzou. Both those tackles.
Okay, some lineman love. Okay.
Yeah, Will Campbell can walk into an offense and give you the same effect that Joe Alt did in his rookie season. He's one of those prospects. He's a dude. So they're definitely going to change some franchises for the better. Definitely. I know it's not as pretty or pop because they're O linemen, but hey, it makes a difference.
Yeah, I think they overblew like the whole Will Campbell arm length thing was so ridiculous. I'm like, dude was playing at a top program for how many? Like, you know what I mean? Like just dominating. Like, please stop. Like, he will be okay. He will figure it out.
With another guy, one more, Jahai Campbell.
Yeah, he's telling me about.
Jahai Campbell. He's gonna be one of them. Yeah.
Well, hopefully, one of those brothers drop down to number 12.
You can use it.
All right, let me
give hear your prediction of who you think the Cowboys are going to pick.
I don't have any predictions. I'm all Cowboys. I don't think about the Cowboys. Come on, man. I'm all out on the Cowboys right now.
But he said until Jerry's gone, I'll talk about it.
But let me get y'all value prospects. Your favorite day 3 guys. Me in the trenches now, and I need some nice picks.
I hate to take one from Keys, but I already mentioned kind of as a sleeper. But I think Malachi Moore. I think that's kind of that's my favorite. That's my favorite day 3 pick. I think we'll probably see him. I think he's projected the 5th. I think we'll see him probably like 4th or 5th. You know what I mean? I can't imagine him dropping to the 6th, but I think just bringing that type of leadership at a program like that big of a program. And I think Keys kind of touched on it before, and I think it's college production is big, and also where you play is big. Now, of course, like small school guys can excel too, but if you're a starter for a major program like that and you play well and you're looked at like as a leader, like that means something. I think, and so I think especially when you're looking in the later rounds in the draft, you have to look at a prospect like Malachi Moore and be like, all right, like he's obviously bringing something to this team. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be my number one. I think I'll let everybody. I don't want to take anybody else's again, so I'll stop there. But that's my major one.
I made a long list in case y'all stole some, so it's cool.
Cool.
If you got
he was listed the entire day 3 board.
Y'all just go ahead. I just put all 100 guys that weren't gonna go in the first.
He's like,
and I'll just pick one after y'all are done. So I'll go ahead and I'll just pick one off my list. Don't worry.
Dude, I already said his name 10 times today. Nate Carter. Then also, now
Joe is giving the Nathan
top
Carter
10 in the draft. The way you talking.
Tell me, I mean, day 3. You say day 3 pick. He gonna shine somewhere. And then
that 4-3 made him valuable, man. That 4-3, the per day.
I'm saying. And then cornerback wise, Tim gonna laugh at this one, but my boy Kobe Bryant from Kansas, he gonna shine somewhere.
He a dog.
He got a dog in him, you know what I'm saying? But he gotta be at the right place. So
Joe love him some Kansas boys.
They do.
I wonder why.
Yeah, right.
My guys are going to be receivers. Arian Smith, Georgia, is a burner. I think he's going to be real valuable late. And also Jimmy Horn Jr. I feel like he's gotten a little more. He's gotten a little more press as of late after some of his Senior Bowl and Pro Day stuff, but he's going to be valuable.
What is it that you like about Jimmy? I mean, like, I'm not saying I'm not down on him I'm not like a hater, but like, I've heard people say his name is a sleeper before. And I just don't see it fully. I'm like, what is it you see that you think it makes him valuable?
So the thing about Jimmy is, I'm not saying he's going to be a hit immediately, right? But he has some of the tools that you can work with. He's a quick guy. He has athleticism. He's actually, I mean, it's kind of safe about it. All the Colorado receivers, they weren't the most polished receivers, but they made it work because they're so athletic. They're quick. Like they had everything else. He's one of those guys where if you put him in the right system, you get him the right mentors, give him a vet, he could be one of those guys. And I think he could be a serious threat in the right offense in the slot. So I wouldn't project him to be a wide receiver, a guaranteed like wide receiver one or anything like that. But if you get him in a right situation, I think his ceiling is wide receiver 2, but most likely he'll be a wide receiver 3 slot guy. He can move around, more of like a gadget guy, but valuable nonetheless, right?
No, that's fair. I mean, yeah, he definitely has like some of that athleticism in the, of course he has the prototypical size, you know what I mean? Like being like what, like I think it's like 5'9", 170 or something like that, which is a little smaller, but I mean, we've seen people like that succeed. It's just, I think he's athletic, but he doesn't come off like the tape for me. It's not like, oh my goodness, you know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes I know he's had issues with drops on occasion. But I mean, I definitely think like, especially if he goes to the right spot, I can agree. Like honestly, if I'm a team that drafts Shador, like I try to get Jimmy Horn at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like give him a familiar face. We've seen other teams do that, and I think like that'll also help him if he has someone that trusts him from the start, like from the jump. You know what I mean? Kind of getting the ball in his hands. But I'm kind of curious just what your opinion was. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail on anybody. Just you know what I mean? Jimmy's an interesting one.
But like I said, I wouldn't take any team on day 1, day 2. But as a day 3 flyer, if he's there, why not?
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not taking day 1 or day 1. If someone's taking day 1, as a fan, I don't care who it is, fire them all. We talked about it. Like, God forbid if I heard someone for the 32nd pick, we picked Jimmy Horn Jr., I would lose my mind. But anyways, I know that's not even a possibility, but just thinking about that just upset me.
But your birds y'all can dabble, bro. Y'all Super Bowl champs.
Yeah, that's how you become not repeat Super Bowl champs. Just picking Jimmy Horn Jr. in the first round. So no, I'm not saying it's not talented, but
that's your luxury pick. That's your luxury pick, man.
Yeah, that's past luxury. I don't even know what to call that. So,
got any names left on the list, Keys?
Yeah, I got some names, man. I talked about Harold Fannin earlier. They took Malachi Moore from me. I got another receiver though, Nick Nash. I talked about it with Joe a little bit before. Like I said, I'm big on production. This is a guy, he led the FBS in touchdowns. He was second in yards and second in receptions. Behind Harold Fannin. He's tough. Dylan Sampson, if he goes to 3, day 3, of course, I have him on here. Kyle Williams out of Washington State, another receiver. Joe, you like Kyle Williams?
Yeah, I mean, he know how to get open.
Yeah, so you know that. And then I got
Travis on Monday.
Hey, yeah, he made it tough. And Travis only got embarrassed by like one other dude, and that was like T-Mac. And really, that was a good dog fight.
It's another guy too.
And T-Mac's a guy, right? Then I got Jonas Sanker, a safety out of UVA. I have some friends that like UVA. They forced me to watch some games. They talk about him all the time. So, fortunately for me, I happen to know a little bit about him. He's really good at safety. And then Jeffrey Bossa, linebacker out of Oregon. My coworker, she worked at Oregon, so she's been talking my head off. I watched some film. I'm like, I like it. I'm with it. So I had to plug that in there. That's all my names, Big Nell.
I got one more. He might be a day 3 or day 2, but I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I think it's like Gadsden or something like that, but he's a Syracuse tight end. He's like the 6'5" dude. He's coming out. He's like a little bit more like a tweener a little bit, but he's like a receiver. I think he'll be a steal wherever gets him. I actually think he would be a phenomenal pick at tight end, especially in today's league. Yeah, but sorry, man. I just want to throw that out there too, real quick.
That group is deep. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, you talked about that. Yeah, he's different though. He's a big dude. And he's fast too. So like being 6'5" and you run like a 4.6 at tight end, like that's.
I'll take it.
Big news. Yeah,
we'll do something with you. We'll do something with you.
But I got one more receiver sleeper on day 3.
All right, let's hear it.
Tez Johnson. I don't care about his
Tez.
I don't care about his 40. We've seen the film.
That 40 was.
We've seen the film. That's all that matters.
It's true, but
hey, don't lie.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sure this will be everyone's favorite part of this draft special, luxury pick time. So for y'all favorite squads, who would y'all like to see picked? But your team has no business drafting them.
Everybody. Now I'm playing. I have one immediately.
Go ahead, DC.
Jalen Milroe. I would love Jalen Milroe on the team. Why? Not even sure why. He wouldn't touch the field. Hopefully, but I think
packages for him.
But that's my thing. I'm like, we could do
a quarterback.
Yeah,
quarterback goal line package.
That'd be crazy. Listen, you think
first.
Jalen Hurts quarterback now?
That tush push package would be crazy.
Nah, that would be insane.
That's my number one pick. That I'm like, I think it would be. I mean, like I said, I don't think he would touch the field really, but it would be kind of ridiculous. But if I could have one player, no matter what, on the team without having to, sacrifice a crazy pick for him, it would definitely be Jalen Milroe. Even, I mean, honestly, the backup position is super important in today's league. Like, you kind of need a backup quarterback.
I don't need that, man, dude.
I mean, I'm not saying we spent the first on him. I'm just saying, like, listen.
Now
ask me, luxury pick. We had no business. I got Jalen Milroe.
Hey, man, I'm cool with that. I got my luxury pick. Honestly, it could happen, but I probably won't. I talked about him earlier. I can't say his first name, so I'm just calling T-Mac again. McMillan from Arizona. I would love to have him as the next guy behind Mike Evans. Obviously, his career. He's still producing at a crazy level, but I mean, let's be real. But also, just imagine him and Mike Evans on the outside, Chris Godwin on the slot. I mean, you talk about luxury offense. What we did last year, you give me that. Cancel Christmas. We coming for them birds. Ain't got nothing for that. So
another wild card loss, yes sir.
Until
I've been extremely kind in not mentioning your team.
No, you're right. My bad.
What's your luxury pick now?
I don't really have. I mean, I wanted Travis. Mason Graham would have been nice. I really want Tyler.
Draft's over, bro. You don't know.
I really.
Val said I already know.
It is for me. It is for me. It is for
2 days.
It is for me. It is for me and who I wanted. Until we decided to win like 2 or 3 games at the end of the season and ruined our chances of getting in the top 5. I wanted Tyler Warren. I wanted everybody in the top 5. We need all of them. We need everybody. I need 10 luxury picks.
No, so you need Abdul next.
Give me Abdul. Give me Shador.
Draft all the quarterbacks and just.
Everybody else said was franchise altering. Send them to Dallas.
You get Nate
That's
Carter.
funny. That's funny.
My luxury pick would be Jahad Campbell, but we're way too deep at linebacker. We got Patrick Queen, Payne Wilson, Cole Holcomb. Like, we have no need for an off-ball linebacker, but I'd love to have him on the team. That guy he's a monster. He's athletic. From snap the ball, he's one of them guys.
That's gonna be our pick right there. That's Levante.
That's one of my favorite dudes. I know he's gonna be gone by the time we come up, but he's a dog. I like him a lot.
He was the only real super bright spot on our defense this year, and you guys saw what happened to our defense this year. I don't want to talk about it too much, but he produced at all times and he never quit. So that's what I got.
Joe, do you get to have a luxury pick? Y'all pick first, so you kind of.
Everybody's a luxury right now.
I want to say, like, you get the pick of the litter, bro. You get everybody. You get whoever you want.
And I hope we actually get Cam Ward. So that's my pick.
You're getting Cam Ward.
I think he's gonna be that. I
They
think he's gonna
already
be that
told
guy.
him, Joe.
Bro,
They
bro
already
already in
released
the
it.
facility, bro. He got the
You
playbook
never.
already,
I don't
dog.
believe
Like,
nothing
cool.
until they pick him because I done heard stuff in the draft. They did that before to
And
somebody
with the
else.
number one pick, the Titans select Will Howard.
Like
Whoa.
that's
That's scrub.
crazy.
That's
I hope
scrub.
The Steelers gonna get him now.
Hey, and
Hey,
relax.
quarterback needy teams. Couldn't be us, huh, DC?
Nah, honestly, I mean, we should have included Nell in that conversation too, but I don't think Nell was
I
here.
know Nell doesn't want to be included. That is why I
Nah,
did not.
But
I
I was
told
like,
you, I'm
not
taking it
included.
easy on
Not
Nell today.
included in
I'm
that
leaving him alone.
conversation.
I'm leaving
Not
him
Do you
alone.
know
included.
what I would
I
do for Dak
purposely
Prescott at
avoided it.
quarterback right now? I got
You don't
Mason
gotta do
Rudolph
it.
as my QB
If I
one.
was the owner, you wouldn't have to do a lot.
yo,
Boy,
You're
That's
I'm here the
crazy.
crazy.
7th round pick and a couple of chips, boy. You good. Take
That's
them.
sick.
But
that's crazy.
let me get y'all opinions on drafting need versus value.
That's a tough one.
It
But
depends on where you are in the draft, right? Like, let's say you're like a top 10 pick, right? You're betting on this guy being there. You have a definite need. He gets picked up. At that point, I mean, you got to draft best available. Like at that point, need gets thrown to the side. You got to get the best player available at that pick. You can't just reach at a position just because you need it. You need to get the best player at that point in the draft or trade back. So for me, if you're anywhere in the top 15, I'm always leaning towards the best player. Outside of that, I lean towards need.
that's
I
funny.
like that.
I'm kind of opposite. I think if you're like top 5, top 10, you lean more towards need. I think that's why Cam Ward's the number one pick. You know what I mean? Like I don't think he's the number one player, but he's the number one pick for a reason. Um, because you need a quarterback. You know what I mean? And certain things you kind of, we saw Michael Penix get drafted top 10. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a need pick. Which I disagree with, right? I actually don't disagree with that. I think as you kind of get further to the back half of the round, I think you start picking based off value because at the end of the day, you find a way to get everybody on the field and they will perform if they're good players. You know what I mean? Um, I mean, just based off of like kind of recency bias here, but like, I'm not going to use the Eagles this time around. I'll use Detroit. Detroit picked Jahmyr Gibbs. Everybody was like, "What the hell are you doing picking Jahmyr Gibbs in the first round?"
RB1.
And we saw them use David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs to partially carry them to to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not saying like they have other weapons too, but I'm saying like you find a way to get those running backs on the field. You find a way to get that extra corner on the field. You find a way to get the extra receiver on the field. Like especially in those skill positions where it's like you become like a weapon. Then I think you pick them regardless. You know what I'm saying? And you do whatever you got to do to get them on your team.
Yeah, I'm with DC, man. I feel like outside of that first, second, third, I guess top. I guess I'll say like top 8. Really, like just go get the best player that you can. Like we see teams. I mean, think about DC's Eagles. I mean, they stack up on talent at the offensive line position. They have a lot of good linemen, right? People get hurt, people retire. Things are okay. Like you get good DBs. You can. I'm a fan. Like I feel like every year, every team should draft at least 2 DBs of some sort, just because that's a position where there's a lot of talent and it's usually pretty deep for the most part. Like you can go get the best corner that you can get, right? You can go get the best running back, like DC said, that you can get. The receiver market, like if I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh well, yeah, I got one guy and another guy that might be a wide receiver 2, but I got a need for middle linebacker or whatever, but I don't see one that I love. But I see a receiver, I'm like, oh, this is a guy. Just go get the guy. Like I feel like a lot of front offices overthink a lot of things and they try to get too analytical and get down
What
all
if
these
you
things.
need
Like
a lineman or a quarterback? Does that change
I
your
mean, it
thought
depends on where you
process?
at. Like they said, it kind of depends on where you at. If I'm outside of like let's say this draft, okay, I can't get Cam Ward. If I say Shador's my second best guy, and then I don't love anybody behind it, and Shador's gone, and I still need a quarterback, but I'm picking, you know, somewhere I don't know, like somewhere decent. Like probably not gonna go. I'm not gonna reach Jackson Dart if I don't love Jackson Dart. You know what I'm saying? Like that
We
doesn't make
don't.
sense. So it's like you just kind of got to live with it. But I might can go get another
Whenever
guy.
you're ready, that's all I'm gonna say.
I might can go get another guy that can maybe help make up for the fact that I need a quarterback, or what I'm saying, or I need the offensive lineman, and shit. We'll just have we'll be elite on one side of the ball. We'll figure out the other side. Like Why you
If
ain't no
the
Jackson Dart?
Steelers, if the
I'm laughing
Steelers
because
draft Jackson Dart, you remember the Wolf dude in the Chiefs jersey? I'm gonna take his spot. I'm a big
no.
Chiefs fan. If you
Crazy.
draft Jackson Dart,
They're crazy.
Joe, you got anything?
I mean, it's a little bit of everything.
But everything, what side you leaning? DC?
It just skipped.
My
Um,
bad.
it just depends. Like, for Italians, we need a quarterback, so that's a need. After that, you have to take value. Like, there's gonna be the early picks might be a quick need, and then just go value from there.
Yeah, I'm
Always
just laughing
value.
just because it's so funny we're gonna see the Steelers go from small hands to Jackson Dart, and I think it's gonna be very funny to see. I mean, I'm not wishing it upon you, but like, I just know how funny that would be to watch your reaction. Like, I would have to like find a way to
there
be.
there won't be a reaction. It'll be me with a straight face, and then me going on the NFL shop to buy my new Chiefs jersey because I'm not doing it no more.
That's crazy.
I'm about to get Riley Leonard.
If the QB's name is not Shador Sanders or Jalen Milrow, run with Mason Rudolph. We'll figure it out next year. I don't want anybody else. I'm cool
Drafting
with it.
Jalen Milrow at 21 would be a very large mistake. But
We took Kenny Pickett at 20. We can't make it any worse. The only way is up. Like, hey, I'm good with that. I'd rather take him and never throw the ball and run cute and Wildcat with him at QB than take Jackson Dart.
do you know it's called doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result? Insanity, bro. It's insanity.
And that's what Jackson Dart's Kenny Pickett. That's insanity, dog. Hey, I don't make the rules. It's not my fault it's a weak QB class and we decided not to get a QB. At this point, you got to do what you got to do.
Aaron Rodgers
it
is
is
still
what
out
it
there.
is.
Aaron Rodgers.
If Aaron Rodgers chooses to come to us, that'll be beautiful. I don't need prime Aaron Rodgers. I need like 75% Aaron Rodgers, right? But as of right now, we have Mason Rudolph. And if we walk week 1 and I see Mason Rudolph under center and he's the only QB on our roster who can start a game. Matter of fact, it's not gonna be my QB. He's gonna be a QB for the Steelers. I'll be elsewhere. I'm not doing it. I can't do it. I let it go once when I let them run out Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, and them boys. I let it rock once. That's the last time. That's it. I don't want to hear this. We got a plan and then nothing changes. I'm tired of being mid. We've had the highest paid defense, and these boys getting walked over because they're on the field the whole game.
I didn't mean to cite the rant. I apologize.
Let it out, bro. Let it out.
Had to be said.
I'm sure
man.
a lot of Steelers fans feel this way.
I have a question for you, Nell. I was just thinking about this before the call. How would you feel if the Cowboys drafted someone like T-Mac, like just like got another weapon at receiver?
I have really been torn between this because we definitely do need another receiver.
Yeah.
But I just feel like there's bigger fish to fry in other areas.
Yeah. I mean,
we have CD, so it's like we're somewhere. Like, I feel like it would be easier to get another receiver than it would like a defensive tackle that we need, linemen, like. So I'm all over the place. We need everything, pretty much.
Type stuff before you
like we're cooked everywhere. Yeah, I really prefer we get the offensive line, defensive line fixed before anything.
Y'all just signed your big D tackle, didn't y'all? I forget his name, but y'all just signed a big deal.
He's just okay. Like, I mean, like you saw our run defense last year. So I mean, I don't think anybody on that line deserved to get a pay bump. So, but hey, I'm not writing the checks.
This is the Steelers and Cowboys.
Where's Jerry? That's my comparisons issue. So Jerry ain't writing the checks either. So I guess we don't have to worry about that one.
Yeah, Jerry, I just let Jerry do him until he's no longer there. Then maybe I'll lock back in. But all right, moving on. Now that we got Keith back, for those of y'all that didn't know, JoJo's 6th all time in receiving touchdowns for IUP. So the brother, when the brother speaks receivers, we listen. So JoJo's gonna run down his top receiver prospects and tell us which receivers are gonna make an immediate impact their rookie season.
Immediate impact. I think Luther Burden, the third. He should make impact instantly. I mean, Travis Hunter, depending on what team picks him and if they actually use him on both sides of the ball, he'll make immediate impact. on both sides of the ball. Then T-Mac, obviously, because he's like Mike Evans Jr. For real, for
Steve
real.
Smith's comments don't scare you?
I don't
I was
really
gonna say
care.
Steve Smith didn't love him. Yeah,
It's just I mean, it always depends on where a player
What's
lands
Steve
too.
Smith to Jojo Gause? What are you talking about?
That's fair. That's fair.
What are
I'm
you
just
That's
saying,
talking
like,
about?
that's
crazy.
two gurus with opposite opinions.
Right.
I'm just wondering.
Come on.
I mean, I think he should be solid, but he also could be very mid. Like I forgot to say his name, but E Quick Brown, whatever, St. Brown's brother.
Cornelius. Is
Yeah,
that what
I
you're
don't know
talking
how
about?
to say
Yeah.
it. Yeah, he could be like him. That's kind of how his floor is, honestly. But Matthew Golden, not
If
for real.
that's his
Like
floor, Cowboys better stay away from him.
I mean, honestly,
That's a rough floor, dog. Like
You
you
should
may
have
say Quentin Johnson. I just
no.
think there was someone else that kind of has
could
some
have
say.
said you could
Man,
have said Lazard.
I'm saying
Anybody that down?
the way he moves and stuff. That's kind of like what I was looking off of. But Matthew Golden, I mean, that 4.29, you can't teach speed. So I mean, he should shine somewhere. Emeka, he's gonna be good.
Mm.
He took him 4 years to shine and do everything. Obviously, he shined all 4 years, but I don't think he's gonna be immediate impact though. But then I just have a little love for Jaden Higgins. I think he's gonna be immediate impact, but I'll just stay with those top 5, 6 players that I speak about. But Luther Burden, I think he's gonna be that guy out of the entire class. To be honest,
All right. Y'all got any thoughts on his receivers?
No, I mean Luther Burden,
Any?
he's different. I definitely can see why you'd say that. I think you're a little too low on T Mac. I think that's kind of crazy. That was a
saying
crazy floor. But I
could be
mean,
that bad, but he also could be.
I think now again you're the receiver guru, but like I do think an important part of receiver, especially in the NFL, is like being able to read the zones. You know what I mean? Like sit in a zone, and I think T Mac's really good at that. That's why I think I'm like hell, even if he's not that good, like at least he'll get you 5-6 yards of pop because he knows where to sit. You know what I mean? Like versus we have a lot of receivers that don't know anything about reading a defense. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think that is important. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, they're NFL players for a reason, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like he's really that's one of his strengths. So I'm like that was, but other than that, I like his list. But that was crazy. That was just a crazy floor.
I'm just talking about the way he moves, though.
No, I feel
Yeah.
you.
All right. Well, let's keep it moving. Temp, it's your time to shine. And for those of y'all that don't know, this brother once upon a time was a bad man. Let me tell y'all. 8th all time in rushing for IUP, 2nd all time in rushing touchdowns. Give it up for your boy Chris Temple. He's gonna give us the top running back prospects.
Yes, sir. So I got my top three. It's a little different than everybody else's top three that I've been seeing around, but Joe's gonna love hearing one of the names on this list. So my number one, Ashton Genty, early. Like I feel like that's the consensus for everybody. I don't think there's any
Yes, sir,
question
future
about that
cowboy.
one. Possible future cowboy. For him, I have a ceiling being as MJD. Yeah. So definitely has the potential to be one of them guys, and his floor being Doug Martin. So he's a guaranteed hit right there. My RB2, Trevion Henderson. Love the guy. Love the guy. For him, I have his ceiling as
State
Kenneth
Buckeye.
Walker. And he's just so damn explosive. He had less than 150 touches this year, and it still strolled to 1,000 yards. He's the real deal. I feel like he's gonna be. I feel like early on he's gonna be in that situation where Tony Pollard was, where he's gonna end up being like a spellback, but he's gonna be that explosive change of pace back that gives defenses problems. And then my RB3 is gonna be Devin Neal.
Shout out
It's gonna
to
be Devin Neal. And people talking about all these guys they have above him, but how many running backs in this draft have been contributors to their team for 4 years straight? In an offense that basically he's the only focal point of that offense. 4-year starter, had 1,000 yards in 3 out of the 4 seasons. In the one season he did, he had like 700 something yards his freshman year. He's one of those guys. He's a bell cow in the right offense. He's going to be huge. To me, from the tape, he is the best vision out of any RB in this whole draft. He has better vision than Genty to me. Just looking at it like that. And for him, I have his player comp being some of like, you could see him being like a David Montgomery kind of guy. Just one of those running backs that does it all, very well rounded, really strong runner, and I love him, and I love what he's going to do for the NFL.
Can I
Love
ask
that.
Tim
Love
a
that.
follow up question as a running back guru?
Go.
How do you rank someone like Devin Neal who maybe is like production, right? But like maybe not as athletic versus like Judkins, for instance, right? Who is like an athletic freak in the draft, but like he doesn't have maybe as much of the vision as what you're saying. And like obviously, Ohio State was outshined by Travion a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So how do you compare the two? Like, is that something that you like kind of look at, or are you more like, man, just give me a
So no, I definitely looked at it. So Judkins is actually my four. My four being Judkins and my five being Hampton.
Hampton's
And
5? Oh my
Hampton's
goodness!
five, but the reason I have Hampton five is because his ceiling and floor is he's the most. I don't know with Hampton, right? Like he could be Fred Taylor or he could be some the fourth running back on your depth chart. Like that's his ceiling and floor is a big gap. Like he could be one of the next greats, or he could just end up being a guy because he doesn't really have really explosive cuts, right? He's a really good runner, really fluid, but like when it comes to change of direction and cut, like he doesn't bring violence with those cuts to me. And that's something that I kind of like when I see that and running backs like that, it kind of gives me pause. I'm like in the NFL when the gaps are that like they're small and you got to hit them immediately. There's not going to be that much time to be like that. And he's not necessarily a patient runner. He's not Le'Veon Bell. He doesn't run like that, right? It gives me pause when you look at Omarion Hampton. And again, I still have him as number five. Like I said, his ceiling makes him valuable no matter what. Like he can still be one of those guys. I think he's going to be in the NFL, but it still scares me. And back to your question, when you're comparing the two, when it comes to production versus athleticism, I feel like you kind of have a happy medium, and that's kind of where the film comes in, right? It comes down to some of the nuanced things, and me personally, I always favor the more fluid running back, the running back that has more bounce, and the running back that has more vision. It's why I was so high on Tyjae Spears when he came out. And he's coming from Tulane, but I had him higher than a lot of the running backs because, again, his balance was so much better, his vision was so much better. And I remember a while back when there was a whole conversation between Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson. The reason I had Jahmyr Gibbs number one, he was more fluid back. And yes, Bijan's still fluid now. Don't get it twisted. Like he's still a really fluid back, but Jahmyr Gibbs is really fluid, had better vision to me. And I feel like the running backs that when you watch the tape, they don't always shoot for the home run and know how to take wins when they're there. I lean towards them as well, right? Because that's really valuable when it comes to the NFL. And kind of like Saquon had this issue early in his career where if it wasn't a big play, it was like a 2-yard loss because he was trying to do too much.
It's like the AP effect. Adrian Peterson's a legend doing that type of thing now.
Yeah, exactly. So like when it comes down to that, it just becomes a nuanced thing. And again, it's whatever you like more, right? Like if you want an athletic monster, hey, I wouldn't fault you with Judkins. Again, he's in my top five still, but like I'm a big nuance guy, so I always try to see what else would be more valuable to me. God, I mean, I've been with Steel. I've seen all the running backs from Willie Parker to James Conner to Najee Harris. I've seen them all run differently and all make me mad in different ways. So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right, last couple of questions. We're gonna get y'all boys out of here. What team needs to hit in the draft the most this year?
I have two teams, and I'm gonna stay in division. I think definitely the Cowboys and the Giants. I think the Cowboys because you kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier, but you could go so many different ways.
We are struggling everywhere.
Yeah, but if y'all go the wrong way, you know what I mean, on this draft, like you have to blow it up, but then it makes it hard to blow it up because you have Micah, you have Dak, because Dak is still making a ton of money. You know what I mean? So
some say too much.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah, but I mean, we say that until we saw Trevor Lawrence sign his contract. So there's that. It's another conversation, but I think the Cowboys really need to make sure they hit this draft. They have to make sure they take a step forward. The thing is, they have the talent to do that too, especially if they have a good draft. Where I'm like, it could be them like fighting for the top again. With the the Commanders nuts. I know you don't think that, but
don't give me false hope.
You have the talent. You just have to make sure you hit, because I think if you don't hit this draft, you have to blow it up. And I think the Giants. I think the Giants more so just because we saw them get so much flack, because of the last offseason, and then they don't have a quarterback still. I mean, they have Jameis and Russ and stuff like that, but like they don't have a long-term quarterback. They have Malik Neighbors, who's going to be more and more pissed off every day that you have a bad quarterback back there, and you have to make sure Malik Neighbors is happy. And they have a lot of holes, so it's like we kind of have to figure that. Not they, because I hope they don't figure it out. But they have to figure that out too. I think this draft's going to be major for them. I think they have to come out of this draft with a defensive playmaker, with a wide receiver 2, and they have to come out with the quarterback of the future. And to do all 3 of that in one draft is tough. So I think the pressure's on there, because if they don't, they're going to lose. Well, I think it's a good coach. I think their coach is gone. I think their GM, who I'm not sure if he's a good GM, but I think he'll be gone, and they got to start from the bottom again. You know what I mean? So those are my 2 teams I got that need to hit.
All right. Keith, what you got for me?
Sorry, man. I'm over here fighting these technical difficulties. But
technical difficulties.
Hey, things happen. But I had your Cowboys. That was gonna be my moment. The DC, jumped out there for me.
All right, just so everybody knows, we all get it now. Cowboys need to hit in the draft. We don't all gotta say it.
Okay. And then I also had the Giants. But I also have the Patriots. I think it's a big draft for them. You decided that you fired your coach. You got a new coach. Drake May's your guy. What do? Do you go offensive line to protect them? Do you go defensive piece to make your defense a little bit better? Do you get another playmaker? What do you do? I think they're in a tough spot, in the sense of, not a tough spot, but this is a big decision, for them. I feel like I said this last year about the Patriots. I think about it. But yeah, that's my other team outside of outside of the Giants and the Cowboys and the Patriots. They got to hit to help themselves out and get from purgatory. It's not cool.
I got 4 teams.
I got 4 teams. All right, let's hear them.
I got the Giants. They have to hit for the coach and GM sake, because if they don't, it's gonna get real dark over there.
Yeah, they've all gone.
Yeah, it's gonna get really
I'm
dark.
already losing sleep watching Saquon in Philly.
Because again, because the NFC East, Commanders, Eagles, they're competing. Cowboys, they're always on the fringe. You can say what you want now. You guys are always on the fringe. You guys are a flip of a coin whether you guys are going to be good or not, and most of the time y'all been landing on the competitive side. So that's something you should be happy about. Second, the Browns. The Browns definitely need to hit somewhere. They have a lot of issues on that team. A lot of guys that just got paid a lot of money. Their GM definitely getting a crazy side eye right now from the fans. It's not looking good over there. Number 3, the Steelers. No playoff wins in a really long time. You guys say what you want about the wins and the success, but when you're not successful in the playoff consistently for this long, for a fan base, it starts to get really, really murky. It gets really a lot of tension building up. And 4, the Jaguars.
Liam Cohn.
The Jaguars need to hit. Now, it's for this reason only. It's not for the coach or the GM being in danger or anything. They're both, brand new. I don't think there's a threat either of them getting fired. But if you're the Jaguars, right, you pay Trevor Lawrence all this money. You pay Josh Allen all this money. You still got to pay Trevon Walker soon. You guys are losing the division. The division you guys had a hold on, Texans are almost the favorite guaranteed now to come out that division. It's almost the argument of, do you want to just be a middle ground team or do you want to actually compete? And there's nothing that shows the Jaguars competing anytime soon for anything. They're a limbo team as well, kind of similar to the Steelers, and they need to hit and figure something out in Duval in Jacksonville, because they're letting the competitive years slip away from them, and it's going to come back a couple of years down the line. Trevor Lawrence is going to get older, but did we make the right decision by betting our money on Trevor? We didn't do our best to put the best around them.
That's actually a really good pick. I didn't even think about the Jags when I was thinking about this, but that's a great pick. I actually have another pick. I'm going to say after Joe, though. I thought about it. Now you're just listening to you talk. I'm like, it got my mind going.
That was one of the things I was thinking about. But I'm like, I can't even say a team that's in my division. Because obviously I can say the Titans. But the team that I was about to go out say is the Jets. Like they're fresh off and had new head coach, Justin Fields quarterback. They have guys there, but they lost DJ Reed at corner. I think they lost somebody else, but DJ Reed, he's a big part to the other side of Sauce Gardner. So I think they need to hit big in the draft because their defense has always been pretty stable, but they need that spark. Like some young guys come in there and show off. And then this is one that you guys aren't expecting, but I say the Bengals because they just paid the two receivers, so they need some young guys that they can, you know, saying cheap, cheap for now because I don't think they're going to pay Trey Hendrickson. I feel like they're going to end up trading him throughout the draft and then just drafting like James Pierce or something. But you never know. But yeah, I say those two teams are like they need to hit. And then the third one, I'll just say the Bears, the new head coach as well too. They're picking up guys free agency. They got their O line. They're only going to go upward. So like that division, they're trying to compete with the Lions because obviously the head coach just came from the Lions. So them as well too. But yeah.
It's a good pick with the Bengals because, I mean, they're at risk of becoming the new 49ers.
That's exactly, and it's so funny you said that. That's exactly that's what I was going to say for the team I thought about because you kind of mentioned it and then Joe built upon it. I think the Niners need to have a good draft because they are so close to having to blow that nonsense up. And it's crazy because they were like so talented for so long, but you're about to pay Brock Purdy. You're obviously like, we're seeing what happens when you pay big money to players and they regress soon afterwards. Like, that's kind of the risk of associated with paying some of these guys. Like, George Kittle's not getting younger. Like, it's Fred Warner is not. I mean, Fred Warner, he's young still, but I mean, like when you're paying a dude that much money, like you gotta compete now.
Gotta take advantage of the window when you can.
Exactly. And so the window isn't closed for them, but it's like damn near shut. And so like for them to have a chance of like making something work again, they have to have a good draft, or else they're gonna be in a rough spot for the next couple of years. You know what I'm saying? So that's I'm glad that Joe kind of brought that up with paying with the Bengals. I think the Bengals are pretty much like the Niners like 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe a year ago, where it's like you have the talent, now you got to make it work, or like it's going to look bad. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, they have better players than Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, I think, than Brandon Ayuk and Debo, but you know, for the receiver positions and stuff. But and obviously Burrow. But yeah, that was my other one too.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I completely forgot that Debo got traded to the Commanders. It just
yeah, that's the issue though. Is like it's like they traded him. Like now, of course, they got that contract, but I'm sure there was dead money involved. And now it's like you lost another weapon that you were planning on building around. You know what I'm saying? Like you have I forget the young bull's name, but that they just drafted. Ricky Pearsall. Yeah, like you have him. He's good, but it's like, are we really leaning on Ayuk and Ricky Pearsall to take us to the promised land? That's kind of scary, you know what I'm saying? One more thing I will say, I don't think it's like as much of a need, like they have to hit this draft, but I think to bring it back to Keith's division, the Bucks are fine, but I think the Panthers have to do something. The Saints the Saints are in cap hell, like who knows what they're doing. But like I think the Panthers, like since they figured out Bryce Young might actually be the guy now it's like, all right, what do we do to help him? You know what I'm saying? Like they're back on the Bryce Young hype, so it's like you have to help him this draft, like now, like help that man. So I think that's gonna be a big one for them. But
yeah, division need to fight back. It's getting too easy out here for us, man.
I think they figured something out though when they started to run the ball at the end of the season. They started competing. They gave the Eagles a little run for their money when they were running the ball like that.
And
the Panthers gave us one of the hardest games of the year. I'm telling you, the two hardest games we had this year. Panthers and in the playoffs against the Rams and Matt Stafford. I don't want to see Matt Stafford ever again in the playoffs. Like, don't. I'm good off. If it wasn't snowing, I think we lose that game. Like, I'm dead serious. I mean, I love the Eagles. I think we're a fantastic team, but like Matt Stafford is a dog, and Jared Verse was going crazy too. But anyways, not the point here. Yeah, no, the Panthers definitely gave us a run for our money. That game took years off my life.
But they competed against y'all and the Chiefs. Like, it was, I don't know what got into the last couple weeks.
It was that phone call Bryce had with, I forgot who it was.
Rod Wave.
Yeah. He turned up after that phone call. He said some
words. Bryce Young's pissed right now. If you heard this conversation, you'd be like, you think Rod Wave's the reason why?
He might
Hey,
be.
pull up the
Hey, he's a
numbers
QB
before and after
whisperer,
the phone
man.
conversation. Numbers don't lie.
Hey, DC, Jalen Hurts calls Dave Blunt. You'll win the Super Bowl again.
Come on. All right.
Did you say Dave Blunt's?
I'm just said Jalen Hurts gonna call Dave Blunt's. I'm getting out of here, man. I'm getting out of here, bro.
Crazy.
Oh,
All right, well, we almost done. Appreciate y'all hopping on for this. Last thing before y'all go, if y'all got any more hot takes for the draft, give me your hottest take that you got.
my hot take's not a hot take. Jackson Dart is Zach Wilson with the Ole Miss jersey on.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
That's
my
messed
God,
up.
that's crazy.
I said what I
You heard
said.
it here. So draft him at your own will.
I think we see a team move into the top 5, top 7. I think we're gonna see a big trade. I mean, we've seen that teams are willing to move, so I guess it's not too much of a hot take, but we've seen it more and more. I think this year's not going to be any different. I think, especially because, I mean, I don't know about y'all. I feel like the talent this draft is good, but it's not like there's like a huge discrepancy. So that means a lot of teams are going to have like their different favorite player, and so like they're going to be willing to move around for that favorite player, whoever it is. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be like a hell no, we're not moving this guy's here. It's like everybody's like, oh, my guy could be there at 10 or 30. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? And so I think we're going to see a lot of movement in the draft. That's my bold prediction.
Love it, love it. Keish, what you got for me?
Hey, man. I think we see 3 or 4 running backs taken in the first round. That might not be that hot of a take, but I think we see 3 or 4. I think your team drafts 1, and it won't be Ashton Genty. Huh?
Oh, that's a big one. You said it's not going to be Ashton Genty?
Yeah, it's not.
I don't think Genty gets out
is
top
it gonna
10.
be one of Temp's guys?
You said what?
Is it gonna be one of Temp's guys?
No.
Damn. All right, I'm a little nervous.
Man, I'm not giving you the. You'll just see, man. We'll just see on Thursday. Make sure you stay up and watch it so we can talk about it. And then my last one, DC talked about trading up. I think the Chiefs are going to trade up in the first round.
Don't let the Chiefs get a tackle.
A guy.
Don't let the Chiefs
get a guy.
They don't go get a guy. I feel like the Chiefs are like, okay, like we keep drafting at this spot, and like they've gotten some good pieces. Well, I think that Eagles loss did something to them. The Eagles loss did something to the Chiefs, and I can see them being real desperate.
The Eagle loss did something to the entire league. There's going to be a lot of movement going. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of things going on. There was definitely a shakeup once the Chiefs lost. There's going to be a lot more people going out their way to try and make something shake and do something different. They've seen it's possible. They're going to try to copy the formula. That's how it goes.
Copycat league. That's how it always is.
Sure is.
Hot take. TJ Watt's get traded.
Oh, man.
That would be...
Oh, man.
You would look fantastic in Midnight Green. I just want to let you know, man.
We not sending to you. You got to go to the NFC, but not there. Anywhere in the NFC, but not there.
So you're trying to wrap it up. Like we were in the Miles Garrett sweepstakes, man. Let us go. Let me have my moment.
TJ Watt for the 32nd pick.
Absolutely
I would do that in a heartbeat. We can't afford that, but I would do that.
That's the thing, dog. You have to pay him $41 million.
Yeah, we can't afford it. But we can't afford anybody like that. Like I'm talking wishful thinking, but we can't afford any of those players. But if you told me that the cap wasn't real and like we could make it work, 100%. Yeah, I will.
He should have been a Cowboy anyway, but we decided to trust that damn school in Michigan, and yeah. Never trusted a guy named Taco.
That boy, y'all crazy.
You know what's crazy? Taco's probably a fan of the show. He's gonna be like, damn, I caught it.
Yeah, somehow Taco's a fan of the show. My bad, bro. No, I used to do your I love the taco celebration. You just didn't get enough sacks to pull it out.
Hey, Jackson, if you're a fan of the show, I don't care.
Damn. Yo, nah, Jackson, I care, bro. He's only here like once a year. I care.
That's crazy.
I care, bro.
He's not even a host.
That was crazy.
That's crazy.
All right, well, that's going to do it here at 2 for 2. Beautiful draft special. Love the insight that y'all brothers gave us. Jackson Dart, if you out there listening, please do come back. I promise you, Temp won't be here, so it'll be much nicer coverage. So
y'all get the Jackson interview. Y'all get the Jackson interview.
I like
the
Jackson,
street,
dog. I'm tripping.
the streets
Anyways,
need it. But with that being said, brothers, appreciate y'all getting on.
yes, sir.
Make sure y'all tap into this episode. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at 2for2pod. Podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, wherever you get your podcasts. YouTube, we'll be there. Tap in, and we'll see you when we see you.